This is Frank Fudge from Dimensions of Spirit, and you're listening to the Hazy Radio Network.
And we're live.
Hello, you are listening to the Hazy Radio Network. We are Supersensory Psychics, and we have about 25 minutes left to talk to Grandpa Peter Koyote.
Yeah, the coyote now, I know we discussed this at the beginning, but the coyote to me always is the trickster. Okay, now people don't understand the trickster. They think it's a negative thing, but it's like life throws all sorts of things your way, and you have to deal. That's always been my understanding of the coyote.
When I hear the word coyote, I always think of the Dream Keeper DVD. I don't know if you've seen that, Grandpa. They're kind of native stories, and in those stories there is the coyote.
Who's friends with the spider?
He's friends with the spider, and it's all like about sort of totem animals and things like that. It's really funny, and it shows a humorous side to the coyote.
Yeah, I've been called that too. I've been called the keeper of the dream too, as well as a coyote. And the coyote medicine is more like a joke that you play on yourself continually, so that you'll remember at some point to wake up. You know? It's kind of like that. But yeah, there's a sardonic and what I call sardonic and ironic side to life. You know, the biting irony, the dark humor in the cosmic joke. You know,
yep.
And a coyote medicine person deals with that energy a lot. So really, the basis of creation is in coyote medicine and in coyote ways, because life is like that. You know what I mean? No matter where you get with it, it's always got a bite to it. You know what I mean? And we keep going back and playing the same jokes on ourselves again and again and again. But so Coyote, as a trickster, is a practitioner in the irony of life, but he uses it, or she uses it, in very creative ways to help other people see the humor involved in their own situations and stuff. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's kind of a double play. It's kind of like having cards hidden up your sleeve, but you hand them to the person next to you because you're feeling like they should win.
Yeah, indeed. Okay. Where are we going from here?
Well, we were just during the break talking about the weather, and I know as English people tend to do that quite a bit, but I don't know, everywhere seems to have had snow gutters. We seem to have missed out on
big
that.
Ice storms and stuff like that over in the East Coast.
We've had the tail end of some windy weather, but I'm a bit disappointed we've had no snow.
Wow, we had like 3 feet of it about 2 weeks ago, and like I told you a few minutes ago, there's only a couple, maybe 3 inches left out there. We've had real cold weather to go with it, but we've had sunny days. And we'll get a storm like that, and then we might not get one again for 6 weeks. It's kind of strange how it works. We're in kind of a semi-arid climate. Desert mountains, they're called, and so our snowfall here is real erratic. It can be anything it wants. Here in the Rocky Mountains, don't like the weather, wait 20 minutes. It'll change. But yeah, I'm traveling this country and watching the weather change over the years has been an amazing experience. The general trend is to warmer, not colder, and to less snow and not more. Especially out west here, it's been real dry compared to what it used to be. Places like this used to have 2-3 feet of snow on the ground all winter long. Very commonly had 30, 40, sometimes even 50 below zero weather Fahrenheit, which is really cold in centigrade too. And it's just like, it's changed greatly. Places where when I was a kid there was 15, 20 feet of snow, now there'll be 3 or 4 feet of snow. I mean, it's amazing to me how it's gotten mild. Wyoming, you'll see green grass all summer long up in Wyoming some seasons. You never used to see that, ever. The grass was green for maybe 2 weeks and then turned brown.
I've got this feeling and this sense that we're going to end up as a almost tropical planet.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of panic, if you like, about the icebergs and the poles melting, but I don't see it as a negative thing. I see it as just it's change, and I just see the warmer weather creating a tropical planet, and I don't see what's so bad about that, to be honest.
Raising the coastal waters 20 feet is only going to eradicate the disease and the illness that so infected humanity forever and ever. The people themselves can pull back and reestablish. They're tough. They can do that.
Well, this is it. And all these new islands are popping up,
yeah.
They're popping up like kind of 2 or 3 at a time. So, the world is changing. And all I can do is kind of sit back and think, wow, I don't have fear over the icebergs melting and this, that and the other happening. It is just change. It's just going to be different.
Well, the Earth is an organism, isn't it? It's life and goes through phases. We had an ice age once. I don't remember having a fire age. But if it's going to warm up, it's going to warm up, and she'll do what she does. You can't fight it.
I'm not real worried about climatic change at this stage of the game. It can be real. Of course, the guys have been messing with it secretly forever and a day, and they do attempt to manipulate the weather, and they do think they have full control of it now, which they don't, but they think they do. But anyway, climatic change is just part of the natural process of, I would call it upheaval that we're going through as we return to a more natural state of being. And so, just like how there's all kinds of personal changes, you go through erratic emotional swings and so forth as you're growing in spirit and heart, and you're a little unpredictable that way. Well, it's the same with the earth, and she's going to go through hers too right along with us, but she's promised me that she'll be as mild with us as she can possibly be. The predictions of great disaster are completely unnecessary now. We've gone through most of them. People didn't recognize them when they happened, but most of them have already happened. So,
well, apart from the odd volcano here and there, I can't see anything kind of huge happening myself.
Well, the Fukushima thing is of great concern, and if not that one, there'll be another one, because the nuke thing is going to happen. It has to come undone. It's part of the process. But when it does, or if it does in that way, just a few people, do the same kind of thing I was talking about when they start arresting crowds. If you just gather your energies together and you project a loving view to that energy as it's coming your way, it completely transforms the situation. It turns it around 180 degrees.
Definitely.
So instead of bringing death, the plutonium radiation will bring life, because it's like the very core essence of organic living. The plutonium is, so it's a magic thing, and all it is recognizing it as that, and it's not a poison, and everybody lives to tell about it. And not only that, it's part of the transformation. It's one of the gateways we go through. So.
I mean, personally, I can't. It may seem heartless, but I can't buy into the whole negative energy that happens when there's these disasters and people die. I just think, it's sad there's human life lost, but at the end of the day, they need loving, positive, strong energy. If the whole world goes into mourning, what have we got? Yeah,
exactly. So, just like when I lost my little dog, I was so close with that animal, closer than probably I'd been in any other animal in my life. And so it hurt like a son of a gun to feel separated from her. Still does to a point, but I told my friend then, I'm going to honor this pain. I don't pretend to understand it, but I'm going to honor it. But I'm not going to let it, drag me down into a place where I'm going to wallow in it and get swallowed in it. I've lived to tell about it, and life has swept me along and helped me do that, When you kind of recognize a commitment in your heart that way, you can get through anything, And, even the loss of your closest people, because you won't feel lost from them much longer anyway. That's part of the change. As we gain our vision, we can see beyond the restrictions, and of course then there's no more division between what we consider paradise and here, so the dead and the living are all together again.
Well, this is it. We're only kind of
there's a thin veil between.
Yeah, it is a thin veil. We're just like a thought away.
Indeed.
As soon as you think of them, they're there. They instantly pick up that connection. They know before you even have the thought.
Yep. That's amazing. It's
what about the thoughts that start with, I hope doesn't turn up? Yeah, it's like Coyote again. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. That's
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah. I love the irony, man. I do.
Right. Life is built on irony, I think. Whoever invented the life that we're going through at the moment has a wicked sense of humour.
Well, we did.
Well,
we are our own creators.
The whole idea. I mean,
and we got a wicked sense of humour, baby. Believe me, we do.
Yeah, if you can't laugh, what are you going to do?
I mean, you got to look at the irony in this life. The very things that can save us, we've demonized them in many ways, and then turned around and ritualized them and made them high and happy things too. And totally distracted ourselves, But yet, the simple thing at the basis of those kind of connections is what we really need to help change the paradigm. It's the sharing of love. It's crazy how we do this stuff. We put so much darkness into our life that sometimes we don't even recognize it.
Everything that we like is bad for us, and too much. Well, why is sugar so sweet then? If it's going to kill you and make you overweight.
Well, yeah, sugar as its crystalline energy. It's not bad to take some of that into yourself. In fact, you should. It's part of the crystalline life, revealing itself. That's why it's become a commodity now in these last 2-3 years. You realize we've been in really dark times the last 200-300 years, and sugar's a part of the Enlightenment, believe it or not. I mean, not the overindulgence of it, because obviously that has an ill effect too, but just the normal, ordinary use of it. Eat a pie every now and then, make yourself some cookies, things like that. That's all relative and good because it has that crystalline energy. You need more crystalline energy in you, so here it is. And then because you get that little bit of sugar in you, you're more in communion with the star family. You can feel their presence and so on and so forth. You can even communicate with them at times, things like that.
Actually, that's a good point, because I know myself and a lot of people that are intuitive or psychic or have whatever abilities, when they're actually eating or drinking, they get a lot of download information like spirit communication, and it's because the body is taking in that nourishment or whatever it is that is needed.
Yeah, I think our food has an unreal edge to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because it's been proven scientifically that everything you take into your body, liquid and otherwise, is excreted in some way.
Mm-hmm.
You don't retain any of it. It all passes through you. So what you're eating is energy.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder if we're not just fooling ourselves with all these processes we go through to make it. Just into tricking ourselves into believing that's what we're really doing, when in fact we're probably not.
I don't know. I mean, I know the whole kind of sun gazing thing and taking in the sun energy, and just the white light is supposed to be able to sustain us. And I know myself that when I've been out in the sun, I don't need to eat as much.
Oh yeah, I can. I'm one of those that at times I've been able to go without eating and without drinking and not felt any real ill effects from it. It has happened at times. But I'm also a lover of this life and of all the pleasures in it.
Yep.
So I like to cook and I like to make food and eat it.
Yep, definitely. I love to cook. I love herbs, spices.
And just, the good shit.
Yeah, just making different flavours and different tastes. So the thought of like kind of developing this celestial or crystalline body and never eating again, I was like, no, that can't happen. No.
Cool.
Well, they say that you can still eat after all that if you want to.
Yeah, I mean...
Because what we're doing is really an illusionary practice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why couldn't you do it then just as well as you could now?
Exactly.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, I mean, they say that the ascended masters get a choice as to whether they actually eat or not. You know, once you've reached that stage, it's almost you can if you want to. If you don't want to, you're not going to die.
Yeah.
Did you say the other day you read something that now they're saying smoking is good for you?
Well, they change their opinion on smoking on a regular basis. I mean, it has been said that it prevents things like Parkinson's disease. You know, it prevents other sorts of diseases. I can't remember exactly what it was that I read. Just that some scientists have proved that a lot of the diseases that they put down to smoking is complete rubbish and has nothing to do with smoking at all.
Sounds good to me.
It's true. Yeah, your body can adjust to anything, and energetically you can handle anything. That's part of the reason why I smoke as much and as often as I do, just to show people, myself included, that hey, nothing has to kill you. Mm-hmm. Everything can be a blessing if you'll just accept it as that, because that's what it is, you know. And you don't have to be habitual about it. I am at the moment, because it helps me get through. There's something mystical about tobacco that gives me some earth energy, some earth grounding that my little body really needs, you know. Mm-hmm. So that's
well, they leave the tobaccos as sacred offerings, don't they, for animals? You know, that is one of the native rituals that they go through. So, you know, tobacco has been smoked for forever, really, I think.
Yeah, as long as we've been.
Well, here in the circles that I run, too, the sharing of tobacco is quite integral to communication between friends and brothers and sisters, you know. We share it as an honorable thing, an honoring thing, you know.
This is it. It's, there's something called the passing of the pipe, where you sit in the circle and you pass the pipe round. And, it is a social thing. It's good.
And I always, when I'm, don't always, but I often, when I'm out and about and having a cigarette and it's down to the butt stage, I put it out and then I sprinkle that tobacco in the 6 directions, you know, and honor the earth with it, and then put that butt in my pockets, you know. Mm-hmm. So I don't leave it out there to be there for 50 years. But anyway, so and in each one of my cigarettes, I kind of consider a smoking prayer. Mm-hmm. And I smoke organic tobaccos and so forth. I do the best I can. I try to stay away from the commercial stuff because I know they load that down with chemicals. It's not the same thing at all, you know.
No, I think there's a difference between kind of smoking this rubbish that that you buy in shops and stores, and actually smoking proper tobacco for, you know, medicinal purposes or just whatever reason, really.
When I was a kid, the tobacco was a lot more pure in the cigarettes, the commercial cigarettes, than it is now. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot more pure. I don't know what they've done to it, but they've really messed it up. Don't even taste the same. You know, it makes you cough all the time.
I'm well, as the smoker in the family, I suppose. I do purchase a supposedly messed around with variety of tobacco from South America, I think it is. And
cool.
And when they haven't got it at the shop, I have to buy the other stuff, and it's man, you can tell the difference. It's nasty. And as for pre-made cigarettes, I won't go anywhere near them now because they're awful.
Well, they load them full of that chemical to stop them going out, don't they?
Yeah, it's tar peter. Yeah, keep them burning.
To keep them burning.
That's all you need, is a bunch of saltpeter in your body, huh? That makes you explosive, man.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny because when I smoke, I do. I'm more open to communication from the outside. There, I think that's the way of putting it.
And it seems like most smokers are real sociable people too. Not all of them, but a good share of them, you know. And it seems like it is a sociable thing in most of the circles I run in, anyway. You know?
Yeah.
And it's even handy, like, say you've got a spirit that's hanging around and you've managed to persuade it to leave and you don't want it to come back. You can hang little pouches of tobacco around your residence, And that will keep the spirits at bay, the darker spirits at bay. They won't come bug you anymore, you know. I mean, it just had to use, and then as a medicinal thing for the physical body, it's quite the healer. It's even known to be a cancer cure, believe it or not.
Well, I can believe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I used to smoke from the age of 14 till I was 24, and I quit, and you know, I know people that have smoked lifetimes and then they stop and all of a sudden they become ill because their body is just so accustomed to it, and then taking it away,
yeah,
you know, it just, yeah.
I used to have a doctor called, I was going to say his name, is Dr. Nelke. Oh, you used to go to Dr. Nelke with anything, like, you know, you'd gashed your hand at work on a knife, and you said, yes, well, you're a smoker, that's bound to happen, isn't it? It was an awful guy. That was his answer to everything. Dr. Nelke was, don't go and see him if you're a smoker. It's just, yeah. Yes, well, no, I'm not going to wrap that up because you're a smoker and you'll only get it dirty. It's awful,
I had some health problems in my younger days, and that's all I heard from those doctors. Quit smoking, quit smoking, quit smoking.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, good grief, you're a broken record, man. Once is enough. Thank you very much. You know.
You know,
I did quit for 12 years, cleaned up my health act for a while, but then I started back up just like I'd never quit.
I mean, I've thought about quitting once or twice, and I believe that it is the thought that counts. So I've been on the go now for 35 years, and still alive. Yeah. Come on, bring it on.
Yeah, look at that. Well, I've known people living in their hundreds that drank whiskey and smoked cigarettes every day of their life since they were little kids, and they did just fine. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. My granddad, he smoked from he was 9 until his 90s, and he died of old age.
Yeah, no kidding.
Didn't affect him at all.
I think it might actually pickle or preserve the body in some way.
Well, this is why I say I don't get many colds and coughs like everybody else does. Because it's got to get its way through that layer of tar that's in there. But we were designed to be able to withstand volcanic ash and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, holy cow, that's worse than any cigarette ever dreamed of doing.
Exactly.
Since I was a little kid, I was born in a place where cigarettes were a big taboo. You know, Mormonism, they didn't believe in that. But man, the first time I ever smelled a cigarette, I was riding the train to Salt Lake City as a little kid. I love that thing. I wanted that thing for myself. The smell of them was just, and I still feel that way about, you know, fresh lighted tobacco. It smells so good. I just love it, you know. And then, you know, being a trucker, I've hauled some cigarettes and tobacco, and you go in those warehouses. It's such a sweet smell. Oh, I love that stuff.
Very earthly. It's of the earth, and that's you know.
Yeah.
It's all these kids these days with their crystal meth, they just haven't got any idea.
No, that stuff take you away from something for sure. You know.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a mess.
I think we're out of time, aren't we?
We are out of time now, so thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Christmases. Big thank you to Grandpaw Peter Koyote for joining us. It's been absolutely fantastic.
You've been a great guest, Grandpa.
Oh, well, thank you. You guys are awesome hosts, too. It's been a fun show. I really appreciate it, guys. All my love your direction, you know. And everybody else, too. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all the good stuff.
Do you want to remind everybody of where to contact you?
Oh, yeah. YouTube, it's Peter.Coyote. I got a channel there. Facebook, it's just Grandpaw, P-A-W, Peter Koyote. Coyote's always spelled with a K when you're talking about me. So that's where I'm at. You can also get my book, The Atomic Bomb, at Amazon.com and other booksellers out there. So, you know, if you're looking for some strange forms of entertainment and enlightenment, a good suggested read, man, you know.
Excellent.
Okay. I love you guys, man. Thank you so much.
Okay.
You're welcome. Been a pleasure.
And,
Freedom for the men.